All right, welcome back to Farm Buildings Part 2. I promised that we'd do more videos on working on these old rickety buildings I've got here, and I just never got around to it. And finally, the other day, I thought, I got all this metal laying here right in the way. I got to make some progress. So I started in, and this is what I got so far, and we'll explain it here in a second. Welcome back. If you haven't seen my videos before, I'm Ross the Oliver Man, and as I was saying, here we have a building that I want to use as my parts storage facility. It was in fact a corn crib that my grandpa built when he moved here, and then over time, as we started acquiring things, he would salvage lumber and build lean-tos on, as we've talked about before. That whole entire side was ripped off in a hurricane type storm one year, so it's all been rebuilt out of new stuff, and now I've had to rebuild this end out of new stuff. It occurred to me, people probably wondered, why is this shorter than the other side? Well, whatever he salvaged at the time, that's the height that he could go to, so that's what he built. So whenever I had to fix it, I was kind of limited to either rebuild the whole thing or just keep it like it is. So that's what led me to want to get some red metal to do that strip on top of this roof where we just were. And then when I went in to order some, they said, if you want to cut some yourself, we'll cut you a heck of a deal. So I got all of this red metal for 50 bucks. And that is a price that an old German feller like me just cannot turn down. So of course I took it and am working twice as hard to cut it, but hey, it was 50 bucks. So if I screw it up, I'm not out anything. It's already, it's already paid for itself with what I got up there. So anyway, as I figured would be the case, nothing on an old building is square. So when I started with the trim pieces on the corners, I figured out that we weren't going to be square, because I guess back up. I started by putting the 2x6 for the barn door track up there and got it level, and then realized, how far out of square we were. So then I had to cheat a little bit and try to make it where it wasn't so noticeably off level. So it's not exactly level, it's just a shade over the line with the little bubble, if you know what I mean, if that makes sense to you. I'm not really good at explaining it, but... And then when I put the side trim pieces on, you got to kind of fool the eye there too a little bit to try to make it, just kind of split the difference between what it should be and what you got, so that you can kind of, get the best you can out of it. And then that led to, red metal isn't going to be square with that if you want to put it level with the board. And so you got to kind of do a little cheating, is what I'm saying. And I'm going to have to trim just a shade off of that red metal over there to get it to match more better with that white. I can do that with it on there, I think. But I got those two pieces screwed down. This is going to be the hole for our new door, which I have to, I'm going to like frame it up inside there, I think, to make it more better there. And anyway, so we'll have a hole there, basically the width of what you see, that is still exposed wood, and then we'll be able to get stuff in and out easy. And they also messed up my door cover, track cover piece, tin, whatever you want to call it. As I had talked about in the other video, I bought this cannonball track, which is round, and it's super good and works great from everybody I've ever seen who had it and tried it out myself. So I got that, and then figured out which brackets I had to have, and then figured out what type of trim you have to go with what I want, because as you can see right there how it's made, it covers the 2x6 and then goes under the metal. For some reason, we got our wires crossed, and they ordered it in gray, and that is not what I wanted. I wanted it to be white to match the outside trim. So then I said, no big deal, I'll just paint it, I'll take it off and paint it. And then I thought, well, it's not long enough anyway, because for some reason it only comes in 10-foot 5-inch lengths, and I'm about maybe 8 or 9 inches too short. So then, to rectify that, I said just order me a piece in the color of red. So then basically when we're done, we will have a white outline around the door, is what I'm thinking, because my door edges are also white. And then I will put the red up on this end, so it'll be, from a distance, it will look red except where the door is. Maybe that's not the way to go, but I kind of thought maybe I'd like that better than a gigantic white line across there. Maybe I'm wrong on that. Maybe it would look better that way. I guess I can always change it later if I hate it. But I'm gonna try that and see how that strikes me after a while. Like I said in that other video, I'm very surprised that that piece of trim was only like $24, because I figured they were gonna want a bunch more for that. It actually hooks over those brackets at the bottom edge, if you can see one. I've got 2 more brackets coming too, so we're not permanently up there. But anyway, and that was the thing, like I'd never used that cannonball track, so I asked him, you know, how many brackets do you get? I thought 4 for this length would probably be adequate. Well, not really, because the track has slots made in it, like keyhole slots, where you put the bracket in and slide it over and then screw it up tight. So they're spaced evenly along there. And then I got to thinking, you know, I really need 2 more to fill in the 2 empty holes that I left, because not for the weight of the door, but for the rigidity of this trim piece. See, it will hold that more better. So that's my thinking. And you know, because people are going to look at this and be like, you moron, why did you start it over here and then you went up here and whatever. Well, I can't really answer to you why I did that, but my thinking was, first of all, this is the easiest to get to, so my thinking was I just got to get some metal up there. I'm sick of, you know, having nothing done. And then up here, I got to thinking later, well, I want to make the worst, you know, whatever, if I have to cut the red metal, I don't know how to say it. I want the worst mistake to be on the side you're not going to notice as much. I would think you'll notice it worse out here than you will out there. And I'll figure out some way to help cheat it along to make it not as bad. But hey, like I said, we're not building a playhouse for the Pope's kid. We're putting metal on, you know, this building that after I'm dead, somebody's probably going to knock down anyway. So it's good enough, what I'm saying. That leads us to the step we're at now. I need to move this. I did not do it the other day when I said I was going to move all that. I stopped. Why? Because I thought, oh, I'll just work around it. Well, I need this area now to get the tractor in so I can climb in the bucket and work up at the peak, because the next piece will go approximately to like where the ladder is, the edge of the ladder. So I need to be able to get up there to do my measuring. That had an open door. I want to screw that shut and pry those hinges off of there. The door actually has dropped down. I need to shove it up. I think imagination must be the only thing that's holding that up there, because I really don't know what else is. But anyway, I was going to take all those boards off and then, or maybe like saw across them so that they were flush with the face. And then I thought, you know what? Who cares? Just put it on and go with it. The tin will cover it. So that's what I'm doing. And it's working fairly decently. I really was hoping that my other piece of trim would be here so that I could do this one time and not have to fool with some other stupid, you know, whatever. I left the bottom loose on the red metal, hoping that I can get under there or pry away enough to get that back out. And now I'm kind of questioning myself because I forgot I put a screw under there. And I'm hoping I can get that back out again. Otherwise I may be, I don't know what I'll be doing, you know, crying, just leaving it up there, sawing the gray piece off where I think the bracket will be, and then that may be probably exactly what happens, and just paint it in place. I'll mask off the red, and I don't know. We'll figure that out later. Like I said, this is already tons better more than what we had. But anyway, like I said, our next step is going to have to be cleaning this up, because we got to have this area, and there's just a little bit of everything. This loader, I got my roll of fence wire thing there that I made to fit on the Super 55. I don't remember if I had that tractor started the other day or not. I think it was out of gas. Otherwise, I'd just drive it over here and put that on there. But anyway, grills I just acquired, and I unloaded the trailer right here, and this is just an easy place to get them out of the way. So need to find them a home that's not in the way. And got a couple moldboards laying there that when we worked on a plow, and I set them down on top of that bucket and left it. We'll get that. I had a motor for 70 in there. Forgot about that. It was in there. I bought that for one piece. I needed a governor for my other one. So I need to do something with that. Dual hubs for the 4180. Just a lot of stuff that needs a home, and I am too lazy to do it correctly. But I want to keep this cleaned out so I can keep mowing this, see? Because this stupid vine, I hate this stuff. I have no idea what you call this, but the story behind this vine, my dearly departed grandmother, she did not like that there was a tree in the yard that had a hollow spot in it. And for whatever reason, that bothered her. I have found in my travels that certain things bother women more than men. As a matter of fact, there's a lot of things I can live with and just not worry about, but other people cannot seem to stand it. So she ended up going to the flower nursery where she actually worked and said, I want some type of vine that will grow up in a tree and cover it so you can't see the hole in the tree. Well, they told her, you do not want this because you're going to be sorry. And she said, no, I do want it because I don't want to look at the hole in the tree. Well, she brought one little sample of this and planted it in the yard. And over just a few short years, it spread over this entire place, and it grows everywhere. It grows even across the street at the neighbor's farm. I saw that they have a start of it where I guess birds have carried it over there and done their business and planted it. You can't kill it, and I don't know what to do. You spray it with stuff and it goes brown for a while, and then it comes back with a vengeance. The only way to get rid of it is to pull it up out by the roots, I've found, and it's next to impossible. So I'm hoping that keeping this mowed and then spraying this continuously, maybe I can get this. This pole needs to come out and be redone. As you can see, it's a pole holding up a pole that has an electric wire attached to it. That was a method that, for whatever reason, was chosen to fix the pole instead of just putting in one new pole. I don't know why, but anyway, what I'm getting at is I axed this is the main root of this vine and cut it all off. It's not even connected down there, but obviously it's connected somewhere because it all greened up again. I thought I finally had it killed, and this spring it started blooming. So that's got to go too. I can't take it anymore. I've pulled up I don't know how many of these things, like vines, the starts and the whatever, out of the ground everywhere, and I keep fighting and fighting and fighting it, and it's just, you can see what happens. It just goes in and grows all over everything and takes over. So that's another reason for cleaning, is we're going to tackle this vine some more and try to eliminate more of it. But it's a never-ending battle that seems to be like it's going to follow me all the days of my life, but whatever. So I've wasted enough time talking now. Tried to procrastinate to get myself out cleaning for like 13 minutes here, but I think the time has come. So probably the best one to get would be the 550, and it's got the boom pole on it. That would be super handy to move some of this stuff, I think. And yeah, I think that's what we'll do. Got my weight laying there, which I don't know why I didn't put that one away. I know what I was thinking. See, I hear I'm getting started again, procrastinating. But I wanted to go get a piece of steel and weld a bar in the back of this thing, land plane, like I've been talking about for years doing. I want to weld another bar from here to over there, and then weld a brace in there like that, box tubing, and then mount a couple slab weights on there, see? So you got some weight, and then you could always put the bolts in and stack more weights on top or whatever. And so I thought the other day, I thought, when I was almost done moving one stack of weights inside, I thought, I need to save one out, and then I'll go get another one, you know, back out of the pile. Well, then when I went back and got the third trailer load of all that stuff, I ended up with a whole bunch more of those weights. So I wouldn't have had to leave that lay in the driveway, but whatever. So yeah, I just distracted myself again with another story for a few minutes, but the time is now. So let's get to it. So I have a confession about this too. You remember that little diesel bus that had the gas put in it? Well, I put some of that mixture in this tractor and in my other gas loader tractor, and I think one more place other than the Super 88. And I am regretting it more in this one than I did in the mowing tractor because it smokes. And probably part of the reason being is I'm not getting this one hot enough. You know, when I was bush hogging, that tractor was running at operating temperature all the time, and it was really sailing along nicely. But this one, it makes it smoke just a little bit. And you look at the sediment bowl, and it's not like, it looks good. I mean, it's just, there we go. It's just a little smoky, and it will be till this tank's empty. But whatever. It's easy way to use up something that was going to be thrown away, so we'll just deal with it. But I probably should get good gas and top her off, but it's probably still got, what's it got in it? Oh, it's 3/4 full still, so I don't know. Whatever. All right. People in that other video commented about the smell of the mixed gas, and it does. It smells pretty foul. I mean, it smells like a mixture of, you know, all different kinds of things, but that's what it is. So, all right. Well, I had anticipated picking these up, and then so for some reason I backed over top of this thing, so whatever. Okay, I'm wondering if I could haul both at the same time. I don't know. It's worth a try. Maneuver. But it would save a lot of trouble. We'll see what happens. This is one of those weather days where it's too hot to have on the coat, but it's cold and you need the coat. But when you're in the sun, it's too hot, so we'll just deal with it. All right, will you pick those up? You should. Oh, now. Sure. Oh look, more vine. Let's say we pick up these moldboards, put them away correctly in the parts room. One more. Handling the drill, these seem surprisingly light. Okay. Ow! That hurts. when the thorns hit you in the finger. Might as well watch the carnage from here. Pull that fold out and come on. All right, so that's empty now. And the right thing to do would be to sit down here on our hands and knees and pull up all this one sprig at a time. But the Ross thing to do is going to be, let's go get the zero turn and just let her eat. Hopefully there's no metal down in there. There shouldn't be, but you know how that goes. But for this first go around, that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to hack away at it with the zero turn so we can work in here without tripping. Because believe it or not, that stuff will trip you. Multiple times, in fact. Sometimes while you're coming down off the ladder. So, I'll go get the mower. So that's more better right there. And now we can work, and we can get the other loader tractor in here to use as our scaffolding, see? And then we can take another piece of metal up there, see? And then cut it to length, see? So anyway, the first thing that we have to do is get that door screwed shut and then get those hinges off of there. So that's what's going to happen. Although I am kind of slightly worried that it's kind of sort of windy a little. And maybe this is not exactly safe, but you know, what is safe? So I'll get started on it. I might not film much of it, but that's what I'm going to do. All right, so here we are getting high on the farm. Bet you never thought you'd see that on YouTube. And we are equipped with hammer and pry bar here to maybe remove these nails a little bit and move this back up where it belongs and screw it down. Also, we are using our side saddle here from the Viewer. It's super handy. I used it yesterday when I did the rest of this. However, I am adjusted at the maximum limit. So they did not intend for large people to be wearing these. I think once it's warm enough that you can work without a coat, even this little sweater thing, I think then it will be much more better. But I got the hinges pulled off a minute ago without tools. Now we're gonna work on this and probably drop it down, and you know, sadness like usual. But I'm gonna try to stick you somewhere, maybe to the side of the building. Does that work? Maybe. That's probably a weird view, but I really don't know what to do for you to make it good. Like I said, I don't really know what is holding this. I assume that the nails at the top are holding this. That one is kind of maybe doing a little. That one is doing a little of the work. But we have to remember now that if we do too much here, this is going to go sailing away. Okay, so nothing there. It looks like those two up top are doing the work. Can we in fact pry them out and still hold the door and not drop the pry bar like we did yesterday and have to climb down and go get it? Nope. That one's probably holding it too. Oh, that one's probably gonna just keep in there because I don't think I'm gonna get it. Woo. All right. Oh, there's another one that got bent over. Don't look, OSHA, because I'm promising you, this ain't safe. You can see what I'm not standing on. You would be mad at me. That needs to come out, whether it likes it or not. Jeez. We're up, we're just not up enough. I guess we gotta take us down. Huh. I bet that ain't been off of there in 50 or 60 years. Jeez. Go away. That makes me feel like that's probably a footprint. Sure, after all that, then you pop right out. Jeez. Okay. Well, it's still holding. Time to put the door back. I guess I could leave it off, but would that make sense? Not especially. Oh, shoot. There ain't much holding that together other than imagination. Oh. I feel like that's where it should be in the neighborhood. And what did I do? Of course, I did not set myself up for success, because down in the bucket is in fact the drill driver deal. This is a lot of work here, I'm telling you. I'm going to try to start one halfway so that I can do this deal here. Let me get it where I think it should be, close, and then just hammer it home, see? Alright, I'm having issues here getting myself in the right position. Let's do it. I'm setting myself up for extreme failure because starting only at the bottom, yeah, I gotta get some in the top, which is kind of up there, and I have to stand on the edge of the bucket, which is safe. That doesn't need to be in there. Well, I guess I can stay. Jeez. Just about exceeded my maximum travel with my body. But we got one that's higher yet. So, safety? Never heard of her. We're gonna go up there. Come on, yo. Gosh, that didn't look pretty, but also, see, this piece of roof up here is bad. So one of the last things we'll do when the lift is here, if I talked about that, I rented a lift to do the barn. I'll come up here and replace that, because I got an extra piece of the roof that should fit there. But that is sometime off in the distance at this juncture. In maybe 2 weeks or so. I'm not sure. And it's going to be right at the same time I'm trying to farm, and I'm going to have it. Ah, see? That's why we need to focus more, see? Focus. Oh, it's hard to stand on the cutting edge of this bucket. Hard on the old feet. Are we out of battery? What a shame. We are. We got no bars. Like a bad cell phone. Or a rickety jail. Shoot. we had one more just to do that. I was really hoping I had enough juice to screw in some more of these down along here, but jeez. All right, well, we kind of got it. I wanted to go along here and get all these hammered home, but now we ain't got no battery. We can let it rest and get a little more each time, but oh well. We got to go down to cut the tin anyway. We might have to also sit down and rest a minute so that we don't do something stupid like fall to our death. But I'm just about over it today anyway, so I think this is probably where we're going to leave it. We didn't do a lot of building material, I guess, or working on the building. We did more cleaning than anything, but that's just the way it is. I'm kind of exhausted, and I just don't really know that I want to do any more tonight, so that's probably how we'll let it go. I might cut the piece of tin on the ground and have it ready to go. But basically what we have to do is bring it up here, and then what I've been doing, since nothing is straight, set it down on the ledge of that trim where it's gonna go, and then get it laid on that. I have to overlap it, you know, where it's gonna be, and then mark my angles. This one's gonna be tricky because it's got to go up and then back down for just a short section. So I'll have to figure out how to do that. The maximum length that I need is 114 inches. So as long as I cut a piece that's that long, I should have enough to work with. But you also have to trim at an angle down below to help with that fixing. You know, we talked about that. It's a never-ending struggle when you're doing something with old stuff. But anyway, I think we'll leave it here, and we'll, you know, I'll show you the results next time, or maybe we'll do another video. But it's really not, doing these buildings is not something I really care to film, because A, you'll probably make fun of my rickety buildings, and B, I need more concentration while I'm doing this. I can't be worried about the camera or, you know, the angles and if you can see stuff. I've got to be worried about saving my life. So that's how it's going to be. But anyway, you got to see me do some screwing on film, which is always nice. So yeah, that's where we'll leave her. As always, if you enjoy my videos, give them a thumbs up. That helps out the channel, and it doesn't cost you anything. Leave a comment. Tell me that you liked it, or tell me that you hated it. Tell me I'm a moron. I really don't care, but anything that you say helps us out too. So thank you again, as always, for watching, and I will see you in the next one.